This segment is being brought to you by Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. Join us in preserving and protecting Tennessee's wildlife. All right, welcome back, everyone. You can call us here at 737-7767. We'll be glad to answer any of your phone calls and just call us about hunting, fishing. It doesn't matter. We'd like to answer some questions about rabbit hunting since we got Terry Peeples on board with us tonight. And let me tell you something. Terry knows an awful lot. I will say this. He has forgotten more than I'll ever know about rabbit hunting. And he's got me involved. I love to go with Terry. I love to be around Terry when we're out there. Not only does it's fun. Terry, you and I, we just laugh at one another. We have a good time. We
Go on and say bond. That's what you want to say.
We've been bonded, but you know, we're certifiable is what I'm trying to say. but Terry's been awfully good to me, and we have had a great time. Met a lot of nice people too. I want to say that we have hunted with some of the best folks you could ever find. If you had to go hand pick them,
you're right.
I don't think you find any better folks than some of these guys that we've been dealing with. And I want to say, you know, if anybody's interested in rabbit hunting, most of your rabbit hunters are older guys.
Yeah,
they are. They are. They're older guys, and they kind of look rough, and they haven't seen a razor in a few days. But I don't think you can learn from anybody any better than some of those old guys. And tell us, who'd you learn from?
Ezekiel Marlowe was the first gentleman that I went out with. It's my neighbor. He's like 2 or 3 doors up. Me and his sons went to school together, Stanley Marlowe and David Marlowe and Junior Marlowe. There's a bunch of them. But we didn't actually get to go hunting right off. We
had to pay your dues first.
We had to pay our dues. We had to clean the pens and work the dogs, and you know, we got to go, but we didn't actually get to carry a gun. And once he saw that we had the love for the dog and respected the dog, then we got to go. We got to actually carry a gun. And then after you get to kill that first rabbit, that's it.
It's fun then, isn't it?
Oh man. Oh man.
You ready for some of this?
We're
gonna go.
I hope.
Line one here is Gib. Gib, how can we help you tonight, brother?
What do you say, Hugh?
I'm doing well, Gib.
Hey, Terry, how you doing?
All right. How about you, buddy?
Good. Hey, I've got an old yellow lab. He thinks he's a rabbit dog, but if I just walk my property, I mean, I see quite a few rabbits and everything. I love to eat them.
Yeah.
Me and Hugh kind of look alike.
Yeah, we do.
But do you have any tips, though, without dogs? I mean, a good way for me to get more rabbits in my freezer?
Yeah.
Without dogs, we call them kicking it up. And what you're going to do is quite a bit more walking than you would if you had dogs. But if it were I and I were doing it, the main thing you can do is take your time when you're walking and don't walk in a straight line.
Zigzag.
Yeah. And if you're taking your time and when you're walking, you're going to hear that rabbit when he gets up. And the next best thing to do is the area that you see him going, you're going to have to shoot more than once. When you see him turn, you put another buckshot right there ahead of him. And 9 times out of 10, you'll get him.
All right. What about, looking for grown up fence rows or brush piles, stuff like that? Is that stuff I need to target?
Yeah. If you're going to a brush pile now, depending on the brush pile, if you can get up on top of it and jump, 9 times out of 10, he'll run out of it and you'll be up on top. You'll be able to see. But from the side of it, depending on how big it is, if you go to kicking on it, 9 times out of 10, he's going to come out the other side.
And you'll never see that rabbit?
No, you'll never see him.
All right. Gib, we hope that helps you out, buddy.
All right, brother. We'll see you.
Hey, we'll see you soon, Gib. We're going to go over there and do some coyote hunting with Gib. And 2 is Susan. How can we help you tonight?
Hi, Hugh. This is Susan Cherry calling.
How you doing, Miss Cherry?
I'm doing wonderful. I just called to let you know how much I've enjoyed tonight's program.
Did you like that tree he shot?
Man. He did a good job.
He did, didn't he? Hey, it wasn't, we didn't get to show it on video, but as soon as he and I were walking away, it went, he fell. But hey, I tell you what, Miss Cherry, do you do any rabbit hunting?
I do, and Terry, my husband and I are in that older population, but I just wanted to let you know that when we were first married, that's what we did on our dates.
Awesome.
Much like you've described with your family, Thanksgiving, it was a tradition with Terry and his brothers and dads, and then when the girlfriends came along, we hunted. And even when our daughter was born, who was just 35 last weekend, so you could kind of tell what generation we're in.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Even when she was little, she would ride on or sit on her papa's shoulders. And at that time, it was legal to hunt down the railroad tracks, which for young hunters, we loved it because we raised beagles and bred them, and we loved our dogs, and, you know, you could see them for miles around. So my question is, I never did understand why that became illegal to hunt the railroad tracks, Hugh, and I wonder if you could expand upon that.
All right. Well, I thank you, Miss Cherry, and we're going to hang up, and we'll try and answer that right now. Do you know?
Well, for the most part, if you're hunting the railroad tracks that run from just, say, Chapel Hill down through Columbia, Lewisburg, all the way down through Pulaski, that train is running like every 40 minutes. And I lost a good dog there. And what had happened was the dog heard some other hunters hunting, and he climbed out of the fence and went to the dogs.
Okay.
And when Paul Holly went to go get the dog was up on the tracks, and the train was coming. And he called the dog, and the dog was coming back toward us, or toward him. And then as the dog was coming down the hill, another rabbit come out of the honeysuckle and went to the track. Well, as you know, once that dog sees that rabbit, he don't hear the train. I don't care if it's beating him on top of the head.
Yeah.
But that train will run every 45 minutes each direction, and it's really dangerous. You know, now, if you're hunting toward Kentucky and through down by toward Benton, toward Murray, those tracks are dead. And then you can hunt those tracks, but you have to get access to the property to get to the tracks.
Yeah, you have to cross private land
You got
to get
yeah,
there.
right. And then you don't have to worry about it. You can actually hunt those, but I've just drew a blank. But those tracks come from down by Paris,
Yeah.
all the way through what's the town right before that? Dover. All the way up through there. All those tracks is dead. There's a lot of rabbits up through there, just like she said. That's probably one of the better times. If you got dogs that don't mind getting in those honeysuckles, all you got to do is stand up on those tracks, and them rabbits are coming out of there. And sometimes the rabbit that's coming out is not the actual rabbit that the dogs are running.
There's just that many.
There's just that many.
That's awesome.
She's right about that.
Oh, that's great. Well, Lee, how can we help you tonight?
Yeah, honestly, guys, I'm a brand new fisherman. I'm middle-aged, and I just have a really short and simple question.
Okay.
According to the TWRA, I know that fishing licenses are required.
Yes.
But do you have to have your license for catch and release purposes only?
Yes.
There's only one day that you can fish without a license.
Yeah, there's only one day a year that you can fish without a license, and that'll be in June this year. That is free fishing day. But all the other times, anytime you have a rod, reel, pole, string, hook, anything like that, you're fishing, you have to have a license. If you're in that age group. Now, up to 13, you don't have to.
Right.
But if you're over that, you do have to have a license.
Okay, gentlemen. Well, I appreciate your time, and you guys have a great night.
Well, thank you. We hope to see you out on the lakes.
All right. Thanks, man.
All right. And we've got Stan. Stan, how can we help you tonight?
Hey, I was just wondering where you can buy that Parmenon spray now. I can't find it anywhere.
Where'd you get yours? Now he's right. Now, Parmenon is a little harder to find. Now, Bass Pro was carrying it, and if they didn't have Parmenon,
I got mine.
they had Duranon.
Right. I went to Co-op. That's where I found
I was
mine.
fixing to say, Co-op probably
Right.
has Parmenon. I would say your Co-op stores, and of course, you got to go by Bass Pro Shops first.
Right.
Check those out. But I can tell you, that's the two places I go to. I've been to Walmart. Walmart doesn't have it. They got the DEET. But I still DEET stinks to me, real bad. And so I worry about how it affects game animals. But I would check Bass Pro Shops and then go to the co-ops. I hope that helps you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, we're going to do our tip of the week now. This week's tip of the week is being brought to you by Interstate Batteries of Music City, located at 3729 Highway 109 North in Lebanon, Tennessee, home of your alternative power source. Hey, this week's tip is one that's real easy. If you've been out in the woods any at all, whether you're a hiker, a camper, a hunter, a fisherman, running dogs, whatever you want to do, hey, the poison ivy and poison sumac is already growing at its peak. Well, Cortisone 10 has come out with a new type of product. It's called poison ivy relief pads. It's much like when we were teenagers using Clearasil pads. It's much like that in that when you know you're definitely gotten into the poison ivy and you know you're allergic to it, and you start that itching sensation, hey, get one of these pads out, rub it on you, and this stuff will take care of it. It's a whole lot better than walking around with that pink calamine lotion all over you. It does look a lot better for you than that. But we appreciate it very much. And we are going to take our next break. When we come back, Joy has got something that's maybe not on the top of my list, simply because it's all healthy. Who was that? So hurry back to more of Southern Woods and Waters.
This segment is being brought to you by Covenant Heating and Cooling, providing excellence in comfort solutions.
This week's recipe of the week is being brought to you by Broker Headquarters Group. Let our team in Camo help you with all of your real estate needs.
All right, welcome back. And I tell you what, Joy has fixed up a really nice treat for you tonight. Something that you can carry to anybody's house and just be the hit of the entire party. I'm going to let y'all go talk to her while I talk to my friend here. Terry, if you'd have had this, you might not have hit that tree quite so hard. But go ahead, Joy.
We'll get him, Terry. Don't worry. I'll help you. Hey, I meant to tell y'all guys, Kelly called. You know, she lives on McGavock, and she was going down McGavock Pike today, and there was a whole flock of turkeys. And she was watching them, and they were strutting and everything. And she said, I just know Hugh would love this. And about that time, some of those turkeys came out, and one flew, and it hit her car and rolled off and hit the car behind her.
Did she get it?
No, a police officer pulled her over because it hit his car, and he wrote her a ticket.
Hit and run?
No.
What?
Flipping him the bird.
Oh, Joy. Oh, that's going to get you some bad.
Kelly did tell me that one. Okay, this one is so easy, and your bowl is a loaf of bread, just a round loaf of bread. Just cut it out, and a lot of times I'll take this with the dip in it and take all the bread out and then cut up some more bread and use the bread for dipping. That's what Hugh likes. What he's fussing about is this is raw veggies, and you don't get to eat the bread bowl. It's Andrew's and Michelle's. This, I always save the top. I cut the top off, and you can just set it down like this if you're going somewhere, and it doesn't get scooshy and messed up.
What
is
scooshy?
All over the place. It has curry powder, onions, celery cut up, mayonnaise, and a little red wine vinegar. That's it. And people love it.
They do?
They do. So do it, try it, keep this around. I promise if Hugh would just try to eat some of this while he's sitting there eating TV instead of saying, fix me some popcorn with extra butter. You do good. But it is not on the recipe site yet, but it will be.
Will be tomorrow.
Or email me and I'll send it to you.
All right. Well, thank you, Miss Joy, for that. You can see this recipe tomorrow, along with many, many others on our website at southernwoodsandwaters.com. Just click on the recipe section and go to it. That'll be awesome for you to take to anybody's house. You'll be the hit. I want to talk to you, too, Terry. How does a person you know, okay, they want to get into rabbit hunting. They know they want the beagle, you know, and they're not quite as experienced as you are in knowing what kind of beagle, but they want to just get out there and try and start working with it. How soon should you start trying to work with a dog to get it on a rabbit?
I don't think it's ever too early to start fooling with a dog for us trying to get him started on a rabbit. When you're giving him toys to tease him or play with him, I usually take hides, and that's what I use. And then he can put that together as they get older. And it's just like kids, those earlier months, even though their attention span is not that long,
right?
Those are the key months.
Those are the conditioning times.
Is when they're actually soaking it in. Mm-hmm. Most of my pups start around 4 months, 4 to 5 months. But at that time, I'm putting the time in with them.
Now, do you work with them like 1 day a week or 2 days a week?
When I go to feed, then I'll take that hide and I'll take them out a few minutes, and I'll take them and I'll toy with them, and I even take mine and I tie it onto a fishing rod, and I'll throw it across, let it get in front of them, jerk it, play with them. When they get a hold of it, or almost let them get a hold of it, jerk it away from them, let them get a hold of it a little bit. But in the evening times is another good time when the other rabbits are out at the edge of the grass.
Right.
And then you just take the pups and just kind of walk them along that area, and then they'll start putting that together. They'll smell it. They won't see it. They won't know what to do with it. But if you'll watch them, you can tell. The little tails will just start working, and they'll start jerking that head around, and then you know. But now, every now and then, you know, you'll get a litter of pups, and there'll be one that won't show any interest. And
right.
And that'll be okay. You know, you just take him and play with him separately, because if you got the other two that are working and trying to learn, you don't want them distracting them.
Right.
You know, but because you're going to have them sometimes that play, and it's a lot of times, some guys will take, you know, and put them with an old dog and keep them with them, and I like to work mine a couple of days with the old dog, a couple of days by itself, you know, and that way you don't get so dependent upon the other dog, because you want him actually working too.
That's right.
You know, we have some dogs that we call pimp dogs.
Yeah.
And those dogs, they just kind of lay back and let the other dogs do the work. And when that rabbit's up, they jump in there. Well, I don't like those kind of dogs.
I want those working dogs.
I want the ones that's getting in there and working just like the other. And I want him earning his keep just like the other one.
And that's what makes it fun.
It makes it fun. But
now, when should you start using a gun and getting them used to the sounds of a gun?
You can take a BB gun. You can take firecrackers. You can take a bag and just kind of pop it around and get them used to the noise to where that they're not timid. Now, there's going to be some dogs that have nervous conditions that are passed down by other dogs. And it may not necessarily be the mama or the dad. It could have been the generation before.
Right.
But you'll know it when you see them. And once you pop that gun and they tend to quit hunting, or they leave or go hide in the bushes and start again, then 9 times out of 10, you're not going to be able to use that dog for that. You know, but at the same time, it's a still good running dog. You can use them to help train other dogs. They won't be good around a gun.
Is there a way to work one out?
To break one?
Yeah, to break one.
I don't know. I've never had one that I can recall that was gun shy, but I know some other guys have, and they just basically give them to somebody and use them as pets. You know, or use them to train other dogs with. Because a lot of times, once you get a gun dog started, that's what they know.
Yeah.
And if you cut them loose, then they're going to hunt. They're not going to sit there and let you hold them and pat them and rub on them. You know, they're going to do what they're bred to do.
All right. Well, I tell you what, we've got to go now and do our giveaway. And tonight we're giving away $30 worth of Strike King lures. And boy, I tell you what, we got a bunch of soft plastics here by Strike King, perfect for this time of year when those bass are headed up for those on those beds. These are some great baits that will help make your day more productive. Be the 5th caller here at 737-7767. We got a great bag of Strike King for you. We'll be right back with more of Southern Woods and Waters.
This week's calendar of events is brought to you by Stand Up Jigs, where we stand up against the rest.
All right, welcome back, everyone. In this week's calendar, we're looking at come Friday. Not this Friday. On the Saturday, the 20th, Middle Tennessee Crappie Club is going to go out of Woods Reservoir. I can't remember the ramp, but it's 6:30 to 2:30. Hey, let me tell you something. They have gone, and I wanted to say, Randy Clark sent me an email, a real nice email, and I appreciate Randy doing that. He said, Hugh, when we started, we had 17 participants in our tournaments. And because we've been saying it on Southern Woods and Waters for all these years and trying to build that club up, they now have 47 regulars that come to those crappie tournaments. And they have a blast. And let me tell you something. Those folks can catch some crappie.
Oh, yeah.
They can catch crappie in a mud hole, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Hey, Sunday the 21st, Old Hickory Lake Bowman's having a shoot out there on Shoots Lane. I believe it starts about 8 o'clock. But go out there and stretch those archery muscles and get them ready to go. And then Friday the 26th, we want to announce that the senior bass anglers, they're all going to Guntersville down at Goose Pond, and they've got a tournament from 6 a.m. till 2 p.m. Go Calvin Cothran. Calvin gets to fish that, and he is a great, great fisherman, and we just wish him all the best on that. I do want to say that Hoppy called us today and said for me to remind everybody there's kids fishing at Fate Sanders. Now, it's going to be nothing but kids. We definitely want the grown-ups to be there, but it's all about the kids on these days. And here, write these dates down because they're giving prizes and everything and awards out for this fishing tournament just for kids. Do not have to go on a boat. It's going to be dock fishing and bank fishing. So June 29th and July 20th. Kids fishing at Fate Centers. Just show up at Fate Centers. For more information, call the marina. Their number is 615-459-6219. 459-6219. And just ask Hoppy about what is the kids fishing at Fate Sanders about. And he'll be glad to explain it to you, how you can get your kid involved and all that. Just a great, great deal to get into. We got about a minute left. I want to say thank you, Terry. Thank you, Terry Peeples, for being on the show, and we're ready to go again, brother. Now, I want to do some stuff with you this year when you're running your dogs, just training your dogs, because you have some new ones coming on, and I want to do some pieces with you on that. But thank you, Terry. Terry's got a great family. Now you're going. Where are you going? You're going fishing now.
I'm going to Big Sandy.
Big Sandy with Don.
With Don. That's right.
I'm jealous already. I tell you what, we want you to go. Get out there. We got about 20 seconds left. Please wear those personal flotation devices when you're out there on the lake. And let me tell you something. Wear the Permanon or whatever you need to. Whatever you're used to. Keep the ticks off of you. We don't need any more Lyme disease any more than already is there. We'll see you right here next week on more Southern Woods and Waters.